YouTube PNG videos.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. Got it.
There are a number of countries where the work is growing quite strongly, and I've made a list here of some of the events that are just taking place in the last week or two. In Nigeria, for example, there have been several years of the STEADY seminar program, which are developed in all of the countries, and they've also developed their training of local trainers. And now they're dividing into 7 regions across Nigeria. It's a very big country, many pastors and preachers who need help. And so they're launching now 7 regional centres, and they're starting the same process in each of the 7 centres. So last week was in Abuja. Challenging time because it was during the presidential elections, but 70 more pastors came, and they will continue that as a process, and also month by month in all of these 7 regional centres. So as the work is maturing now around the world, that's part of the vision in the larger countries, that there will be a regionalisation and then also local developments, and that's how the virus is spreading, the positive virus is spreading. And then this week coming up, we have an event in Central Asia. The Central Asian republics, as you know, are quite demanding. They're Islamic background, post-communist, quite tough for evangelicals, but they've been a very good program in one of the Central Asian republics with 70 or 80 participants that have been coming. And other countries have got to know about it, so there's also a group coming from another republic, and from all 3 or 4 Central Asian republics, they're all gathering together, and that will be the 3rd program, and it's run at 3 levels, and then a little event afterwards on how to start small preachers groups, preachers clubs, which you're familiar with in the Pacific, of course, so that they can develop in new cities in Central Asia. So that's quite different from Nigeria, which I've explained, where there are huge numbers of pastors and preachers and freedom and growth. It's a much more restricted situation, but still the same hunger for how to handle the Bible well, how to preach it well in the churches. So we'd love to have people pray for developments in those kinds of contexts as well. Then also this week, quite a different approach, but a very important one. In Kenya, where there's been an established preaching movement now, there are many small clustered preachers groups, preachers clubs, and there's a very fine Kenyan woman who's our coordinator in Kenya called Mercy Irere, and this week she is on the road travelling to visit the preachers clubs in Western Kenya, and this is part of the way in which the work grows, is having people like her in each country who will be ringing up the pastors on their cell phones. When are you going to meet? What are you going to study? And then when they've met, what did you do? What did you learn? And it's her kind of encouragement which is pushing the preaching movement forward. And although she's only about 4'6", small Kenyan lady, she has got a lot of energy, a lot of respect from the churches, and they will take their lead from the way she's encouraging them forward. So there are now many of these preachers clubs in Kenya, which is increasingly moving it out to the grassroots development of the work, and we're very thankful for that wherever it's happening. That's true in Africa, in the Pacific, and also in Latin America, where there are many of these escuelitas, small preachers' schools that are emerging in different Latin American countries as well.